Hi guys, remember, thank you so much for being here. So today I'm here with another pick a card on what profound shift is happening for you right now. We have 3 piles. This is pile 1, this is pile 2, and this is pile 3. So take your time, go to whatever pile you feel intuitively called to. The links to the piles will be in my description box below, as well as if you want to skip me reading the cards. And I'm going to give you guys a few seconds and then we'll get started. Hi, Pile 1. Welcome to your reading. So today we're doing a pick a card on the most profound shift happening for you right now. And you picked the card Fog. We also have the Offering, Gnosis, the Medallion, the Box, Perseverance, Isolation, and Enlightenment. Okay, Pile 1, this is really big. So I was really feeling this Fog card is quite protective for you right now. I feel like you're going through some type of awakening and it's challenging, I would say, to go through this awakening. I feel like you're coming up on feelings around where you've been boxed in, where you've boxed yourself in, and what the box is. I'm seeing you like get really go up to the box. You're like looking at the box, right? And you're looking at the corners and the edges of this box. And you're like looking at it and thinking about it and seeing how it almost feels like some type of recognition that you've sought in your life, because we have the medallion, and the medallion is that like reaching for an award or reaching for something like recognition of some type. And I feel like you're looking at like how maybe reaching for this type of recognition or even believing in a certain structure is actually boxing you in now. And it might not have been that before. I feel like this box has become stuffy is kind of the feeling I'm getting. And I'm getting this like need to push past this box that you're in. And I think that I'm just getting you going through stages of like releasing this box and like looking at what it is. Almost just getting into like more of a feeling type of thing. It's like you're feeling this box. You're feeling, I'm hearing insulated and trapped in. But it's like recognizing the box for what it is. It's like you're still in this process of seeing what the box is, seeing where you've boxed yourself in, and even becoming comfortable with the idea of and the feeling of, wow, I actually feel like this is not inhibiting me, but yeah, in some way inhibiting me. And it's not an easy thing to go through, because I feel like there's an identity that you have that may be wrapped in around this box, right? Like it may be a structure in your life or something internally that you've posed for yourself as something that you must do. Like, I must do this. I must be this way. I must think this way, right? And I think you're challenging those thoughts and beliefs that you have around who you are, what you want, where you're going, who's around you. I mean, that's why it's so big. And I do want to say that there is something, the Gnosis card is about an innermost knowing. It's like it's like an important felt experience of deep truth, around who you are, around what you think about what you even, maybe even your spirituality and how that's tied in. You may have not been open in the past to spirituality in general. Maybe you had a really horrible religious experience, or just put it off as some type of like trickery or something that didn't have any merit, is what I'm saying. And I feel like you had something happen, or an offering of some type from spirit where and this is all like, I'm not saying like you have exact, what am I saying? I'm not even gonna say that. You got some type of offering from spirit or had some type of felt experience, an experience that opened your eyes in some way. And this opening of your eyes was painful. Because it's like you realized something it's almost like a bittersweet feeling I'm getting around everything. And again, and I think you're having to persevere. And I do think that this fog is protective right now. And I was thinking about like, how can fog be protective? Well, it can keep us from not being seen. And it can also insulate us to kind of, I'm hearing percolate, like with the energy. It's almost like I'm seeing you really just trying to, I'm hearing come to bear, but come to understand like, what is this about? And I think that it's been really confusing. And I was like really thinking about this and going deep into like, how does confusion help us? And it helps us by, it's almost like I'm seeing you go, so we have consciousness, right? And we have a problem in a certain consciousness. And we try to solve the problem with that certain consciousness that we are at the time. And, but we don't have the answer because we're trying to solve it with consciousness that's still, that we came in with, right? And this fog it's creating confusion around what to do, how to get there. And I think that what this can do, how fog and confusion can be helpful to us is, I'm sorry, it's so hard to get this thread. Because I'm feeling the confusion really a lot. So I'm like trying to make sure it's hard to make sense of. But this confusion can help us because it creates this feeling of, I need to find an answer. And the answers that I'm being provided or coming up with are not good enough. They're not the real answers of what I need. It's like, and then like because it helps us by making us reach for more creative solutions, reach outside the box for answers. And I think that there is something to be said about creative solutions for this fog. And I also do want to say that fighting the fog or trying to force an answer when you're feeling confused is like literally the wrong answer. And not the wrong answer. It's just, it's not right for you at this time. I feel like to try to force an outcome, because I feel like forcing an outcome here wouldn't be wise, because you are experiencing this fog and this confusion for a reason. And that's why I was saying I feel like it's a protective force, because I do feel like it's almost like I'm seeing you gestating in something. And if anything were to interfere, if this fog weren't around you and anything was able to interfere with where you're at, it could influence, right? Influence what's actually trying to be birthed within you. And what's trying to be birthed within you is a very big, expansive view of yourself in a new way, of spirituality in a new way, of the way that you move in your path in a new way. And again, it's overwhelming. I do feel like it's quite overwhelming, this understanding that you've come to, this felt experience of gnosis that you've just experienced. And it feels really big. And I do feel like it was an offering from spirit to say, hey, this is real. Like, some of the stuff you're experiencing is real. And even if you felt like it previously wasn't real, it is real. And it's because you went through a experience that really, again, I just see you opening your eyes. And again, I do think that that's why this fog is protective. It's like you need to be a little bit isolated because you're moving towards enlightenment. And I know enlightenment can be a weird word, right? But it's more internal and more specific to your path. It's like whatever this enlightenment that you're reaching is for you and you alone. It's for your world, your internal world. It's for your it's to help you move forward on a path that feels more aligned. It's to help you get out of this box that your conditioning or programming has told you is important. And I think it's realizing how, even if you get this medallion, even if you were to get the most recognition you could ever want, the recognition is not what you really want. It just looks like what you want. Maybe it's been told that this is what you want. This is you need recognition to be validated, or you need recognition to feel worthy, right? But that's a box that's no longer suiting you. You don't want to feel like you need others' validation to feel worthy. You want to feel like you have the ability to expand past what your mind is putting a box on for you. It's like I'm seeing your mind put a box on like things that would be good for you even, or box you off from experience in some way, experiencing joy or experiencing excitement or fun or just aliveness, right? I feel like you're just like going through this process of like, this is not about what your mind's telling you. This is about what your intuition's telling you. And this fog, it's lovely in its way because it gets us more connected to our intuition. It's like I'm seeing that there's an internal dissolving around force, around control, around rigidity, around inflexibility, around structures that are not meant to stand. And I'm seeing your intuition come alive through this whole thing. And again, I feel like that's why this is overwhelming. Maybe you haven't experienced this type of intuition, because it feels like a higher form of intuition than just like, oh, I don't like that person, or I need to do this next. It feels bigger than that. It feels more spiritual than that. It feels like a bigger picture. I feel like you got a bigger picture in some way, and it jarred you because you weren't expecting that to be the bigger picture. It's like your mind was telling you the bigger picture is this box. The bigger picture is this medallion that you're seeking, this recognition, this I need to be successful, or I need to have a crazy career, or I need to have a shit ton of money. Like, that's the box I'm talking about. And it's like you're realizing, oh my gosh, I've been in this box thinking that it was it for me. And maybe it was for the time, but you are growing out of this box, whether you want to or not. And I think that your ego is having a hard time with growing outside this box because it's super scary. And again, I do feel like I can't get over this whole fog being protective of you. It's like how darkness is not always bad. It can be cooling. It can help your nervous system feel safe sometimes. It just depends on, how you relate to darkness. But I'm just giving you an example of how darkness does not have to be bad. It's not bad or good. Fog is not bad or good. It is, it can be bad or good, not bad or good. It can help you grow, or it can help create chaos or create more difficulty. And I think that part of this is looking at where you're at and just letting it go. Like, it's okay where I'm at. Like, this is, it's meant to be confusing. It's meant to be confusing because it's meant to help you get connected to your intuition. It's meant to be confusing because it's meant to break you out of this box that you've been in. Like, and again, and I do feel like there is like a spirit is making it confusing. Like, and not making it confusing for any bad reason. And also it's the energy too, right? Like, because the North Node's in Pisces, and Pisces is Neptune, which is all about fog. But this, again, with the nebula, it's like, this feels so big. Like it's like you're searching. Yeah. It's like you're searching for an answer, but the answer is within you. And the fog is meant to keep you from other people in some way because you need to find this answer within and not from external sources. Is kind of what I'm getting. Okay. I want to get into the tarot. This is really beautiful, pal one. And I know it's not easy. I do want to say I know it's not easy. This is just again, I feel like this is a very internal process that you're going through. And it's not meant to be, like, you're not meant to be going externally right now. I feel like and I feel like you would feel that energetically. Like, you would feel a need to, like, just be internal right now. The offering. The devil. Hold on, what's this devil about? Strength. No. That's so beautiful. Wow. Okay, so strength always beats the devil. Always. It's the sun on old coping mechanisms, places where you felt trapped. I think you're realizing that this box, right? And even the idea of, how do I say that? Even the idea of spirituality could have seemed like the devil to you. And I'm not saying it wasn't. Like, I'm not saying that there's not people that use spirituality in a unhealthy way. But I believe what I'm feeling here is that you're seeing old coping mechanisms, maybe your ideas about spirituality that have been out of a place of protection. It doesn't have to be spirituality, but I am getting for some of you it's spirituality. Also seeing that the mind is a box, and the mind is telling you things that may not be true. I'm just seeing a sudden realization and a understanding of what you've been avoiding and how it's been hurting you to avoid whatever this is. And I don't see you any longer avoiding it. I'm seeing you look at it. I'm seeing you try to get comfortable with looking at it, which is very hard. Okay, what's the devil and the strength card? This is very interesting. Three of Swords. Yeah, it's like you're seeing, see how the person's looking at the Three of Swords and she's like paying attention. Like you're seeing, I'm seeing it really interestingly. You're seeing how your perception has been marred by heartbreak, by wounding. And because you're seeing the pattern and you're seeing it as wounding, just seeing it like that and perceiving it like that finally, that is taking you to a higher awareness. That is taking you to understanding yourself in a very deep way, in a new way. But again, this can feel very jarring because it's hard to look at our wounding. And I'm seeing you like realize, oh my God, like I've been looking at this through my wounding the entire time and I didn't even realize it, right? And it's like an epiphany, which is like the offering from spirit. But again, this is not an offering necessarily from spirit. It feels like an offering that your soul's giving you, even an understanding, a higher awareness. But again, it's your consciousness is rising. That's why this is happening. King of Wands. And I feel like it's around your confidence. What's King of Wands? Seven of Pentacles. And around something you've already built. What's the Seven of Pentacles? Queen of Swords. And how you've had to protect yourself. There's some of you can have a relationship here with somebody that you're seeing finally for the truth of what it is. The truth of what reality actually is around whatever you've built into. Seven of Pentacles is something you put a lot of energy into, real world 3D energy. And it could be with another person for some of you because I'm seeing a Queen of Swords and a King of Wands, but it doesn't have to be. It can be a job. It can be a situation. Somewhere where you wanted long-term happiness. I'm seeing that you may be recognizing the wounding around this. And now you're feeling you need to make a judgment call. Can I see what judgment is before I say that? What's judgment? We have Leo here, Capricorn, and Sagittarius. This has been a long process of alchemizing your conditioning. So I was really doing a deep dive yesterday with temperance because I feel like I've been going through a temperance process too. So the temperance card usually has her holding pouring between two cups. So you can kind of see here, she's got a cup up here and a cup here. She's pouring between these two cups. And that's the process of alchemy. And alchemy is not about one form is good and one form is bad. It's about creating a relationship between one form and another. And I feel like I'm trying to make this in terms that would be resonant for you. It's like you're realizing your conditioning. You're seeing the box that you've been put in. You're also coming to this higher awareness. And there's like a lot of contradictions happening within your mind over everything. It's like you might feel two ways about spirituality. You might feel two ways about grief. You might feel two ways about healing. You might feel two ways, opposite ways about what you're doing, what you've been building, two different ways about what you want to build, right? And so there is this a very, very deep contradictions that are happening within you that are very difficult to connect and create a relationship between. But Sagittarius and the Temperance card in specific is not about forcing one outcome or another. It's about getting them to have a relationship with each other. And I'm talking about like your internal relationship with yourself. It's like, can you allow both the fact that you don't necessarily completely like what you've built, and also you don't want to leave it behind? And can you honor the fact that you want to leave it behind and you don't want to leave it behind? I'm just giving you an example. It doesn't have to be this. Can you allow for you to see your devil tendencies, your coping mechanisms and everything, and the strength you have to beat them? Can you recognize how you've been looking at some of the things in your life as wounding when they've really not been wounding, or vice versa, right? It's really conceptual, that the way I'm getting it. And so I'm trying to figure out how to like put it into layman's terms, but there's a judgment that you're coming to. There's an understanding of what's really been happening that you're coming to. It's just a very hard thing to, why is it doing that blurring? It's just a very hard thing to manage, to go through. Again, it's like two opposites, two contradictions, and creating a relationship between these contradictions. It's like, it's not about, how do I say this? It's not about condemning any part of you. It's not about saying I need to do this or that. It's not about one or the other. It's about both. It's about allowing. It's not about force. It's about allowing, right? It's about allowing all of these contradictions to exist within you and seeing the relationship that can happen, that can form, but also the relationship that you've had to certain things already. It's really hard to explain. I hope I'm explaining it right. Let me see his judgment really quick. Yeah, it's like, can you allow both the pain and the love to be there? Can you allow both the attachment and the need to leave to be there? Can you allow spirituality and reality to be there? You know, it's you might have created a lot of rigidity in yourself about like, I need to do things this way, or I need to act this way, or this is what I'm supposed to be going for. This is what my goals were before. And this is now what my goals seem to be morphing into something different. How do I, manage both of those things? Again, but again, I think that's why the fog is protective, because you're calibrating it, you're gestating it, you're still in the process of forming. Okay. What is this judgment about? The Queen of Pentacles. So this, you're looking at maybe your perception of yourself when it comes to worth, your perception of yourself when it comes to what stability even means, your perception of what you've been trying to build into and where it actually is. And it's like, again, it's giving so many contradictions, but yeah. And it's been a long process of contradictions within you. And maybe, again, it's like I'm seeing your old self is dissolving and a new form is taking place. A new self is taking place. And now, because you're in this transition phase of old and new, you're holding a lot of opposites, a union of opposites. You're holding your old self and your new self. You haven't quite fully formed into your new self, but you definitely are moving away from the way you used to think and the way you used to feel. And so again, it's painful to be in that liminal space where you are transitioning into, and you don't fully understand yet, right? And it's like, again, that's why it's so complicated. Okay, can we get, okay, Six of Swords. Yeah, this is about you moving to calmer waters with what? With what? And planning. Okay, what moving to calmer waters with what you want to go for, how you want to move. It's going to be in reverse. Ace of Wands in reverse, and what you don't want even, and what you really don't want. What's Ace of Wands in reverse? Hold on. What's Seven of Wands? Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Why the Wheel of Fortune in reverse? The Empress and the Knight of Wands. You're looking at, this is also part of it. You're looking at and breaking down how you've turned down cycles and stood your ground thinking that that was the right thing. And I'm not saying it was the wrong thing. At the time, it probably was right for you. But I'm seeing you looking at why you're standing your ground and not going for something that is nurturing, that could be nurturing to you, and something that would really light you up. You're looking at, why am I standing my ground and not going after this opportunity? And why is that? And again, I'm seeing the standing your ground as like an internal structure, a box, right? A box that is holding you as like, this is the way you must be. This is the path you must follow. This is the path that, you're supposed to follow. Like, right? Like, you're breaking down conditioning around what you want, what you think you want, and where you're going. And where you think you're going. It's very interesting. It's like I'm seeing you like realize like, oh my gosh, like I don't want to stop myself from going for a cycle that would be lovely to me. It's and again, it's like a protection, right? Because, and again, it's a box that you put yourself in because why? Why is there the box here? Why? Maybe someone told you it wasn't okay. The box is that, what's this 8 of, it's like, it's giving like, you know what it's giving to me? It's like, I'm going to walk away before I get hurt. I'm going to walk away and I'm not going to experience that. It's giving like, it's not better to have loved and lost. It's better to have never loved at all. It's kind of giving that. And I think you're realizing, I don't want to walk away from good opportunities. I don't want to walk away from where my soul is calling me from to. from, where my soul is calling me to. I don't want to walk away from where my soul is calling me to. But again, I think where your soul is calling you to is something that really is scary, is something that is not something you thought you would even want. Again, it's like, it's giving like your energy of like, I was looking through at this next cycle through a phase of wounding. I was looking at this opportunity from a place of wounding, from a place of avoidance, and you're realizing that. And that is jarring to your nervous system, because again, I think that you thought you wanted the opposite of this. And I'm not saying that the opportunity was bad or not healthy, but I think you deemed it as something you didn't want, or your mind did. The box that you've been in, the conditioning that you've experienced, deemed it like the devil, when it was really something that was the strength in you. And again, this is like unblurring, right? Like unblurring your perception away from wounding and definitely into a more aligned space where you can breathe. I mean, it's like I'm seeing the walls that you've created within you are making you feel suffocated. And it's like, I think you're, and again, like sometimes, especially if you're like a fixed sign, but it doesn't have to be that you're fixed, but sometimes we have to get really uncomfortable with what we're doing to be able to make a big change. And I feel like this has been a very long process. I hate that it keeps blurring. A very long process of even just realizing that you have a box around you, even realizing how you haven't gone after something that you want and how you are keeping yourself held back because of fear or avoidance. I hate that it's blurry. It's really annoying me. Like it keeps doing that. And I'm like, no, why is it so blurry? It's so crazy. Again, I think that's that fog coming in. It's not going to work. Oh, well. Okay. Spirit guides, what? I don't know why it's doing that. It's like actually really bothering me for reals. So you might be really bothered by the fog that you're feeling, the confusion. Because I feel like there could be this feeling of like, I need to move now. I need to make a choice. I need to choose this. I need to not choose this, but you're not ready yet. You're still gestating. You're still becoming new. You're still learning. You're still aligning. That's okay. It's okay. You're taking your time. Take your time. You need to take your time with this. This is important. Yeah, because you're still trying to figure everything out. You're still, and it's interesting because it's a page, right? And a page is like one of the more inexperienced ways of collecting information. But what a page is beautiful at doing is really collecting all the information. And you're still getting information about this. You're still getting information from yourself about this. You're still trying to work through wounding around where you've been holding yourself back. You're still looking at how you've been avoiding some things. I mean, I'm hearing it's just like a really big truth that you're coming to that's just really hard to swallow, because it means that there's going to have to be some changes made. And I think that your nervous system is still getting used to being okay with giving yourself permission to make changes around this. Because again, I think this has been a box, or the conditioning that you've had has been with you for a very long time, and it may have served you for a long time. But again, I think you're seeing how it's no longer serving you. It's actually making you feel suffocated. And I think that, this big shift that you're experiencing is moving from old to new, but also giving yourself permission to change. Yes, but it's more than that. It's like just allowing yourself to process, allowing yourself to let go, to surrender, to say, I don't have what I need to make this decision yet, or I would have the decision. I'm not there yet. And so trying to force a decision when you don't know it's actually going to make it harder, and it's actually going to create more suffering. And then you won't feel fully 100% sure. I'm not saying you will always feel fully 100% sure, but you need to feel more sure than you are right now. And again, you're going through a shift, a very, very big shift around your conditioning, around wounding, around transitioning from an old thinking way into a new thought form, and that's probably going to go off again. A new thought form. You're transitioning from an old thought form into a new thought form. You're literally like, this is a lot. This is really big. Like, this is a huge shift that you're experiencing, and it's away from the ways you used to do things to keep safe. And that's why it feels so big. Okay, what do we have? What is advice for pile 1? Knight of Swords. Hold on, let me see what this is. Knight of Swords. 6 of Cups. Spirit is saying go into what? 6 of Cups and what? 8 of Wands. What's Eight of Wands? Is Six of Cups their inner child or what? Or the past? Just the past in general? The Nine of Cups. Okay. So there is something really that's your wish fulfillment that you want to communicate with and that you want to move forward to. And it could be a person for some of you. It doesn't have to be, but it's something very sweet, a sweet connection, a sweet situation, something that really calls to your wish fulfillment and you really want to move forward and communicate, but you're having a conflict with it. So how do I help them with this conflict? This is about working that conflict out, everything that you've been doing. Yes. The conflict is within the mind, 100%. This is why that fog is important, because you're going between two, like the Eight of Swords always to me is a card of like, usually it doesn't have to be this, but I'm seeing these as thoughts and you're caged within your thoughts and there's no new thoughts and no new information that are coming in to give you what you need to like work this conflict out. And again, we cannot solve a problem with the same type of thinking that the problem created, right? And so I think that Spirit is saying, what is Spirit saying here? Looking at your thinking is helpful, but I also think what's also helpful here was be just like going outside, getting out of your head, because your head does not have the answers. Your head right now is not where your answers are going to lie. Your answers are going to lie in your heart and in your intuition and in a higher form of understanding. And again, I do feel like you touched the higher form of understanding. I just think that you're still having a challenging time with seeing clearly because of the way that your thinking is. But this is what's changing. So how do I help them change their thinking? I mean, again, getting into the sun, going outside, going on a walk, you know, getting connected to the trees. What's the Eight of Pentacles? Okay. Working hard at your self-worth and your stability could be helpful. And making a decision to what? Hold on. I hate that it keeps blurring. It's really annoying me. Knight of Cups. To making a decision to give or not to give. To give. So to make a decision to give to whatever this wish fulfillment is going to help rebalance and give you a win. So Spirit's saying even making the decision to go after this is going to help you. But I also want to say that I don't know if you're ready to make this decision yet, but I only know that you're not ready because of what your mind is telling you, not because of anything else. And again, I think going outside and getting out of the mind is going to be very helpful. But I also think realizing that your thoughts, the things that you're thinking, are not based in truth, are not based in a higher form of consciousness. And any attempt at trying to gain a higher awareness about this that's not only in your mind is going to be really helpful. So that's why getting connected to nature can be very helpful. Getting connected to anything that makes you feel connected to being alive, that is going to help you here. And again, I do feel there's some heartbreak that is still here that needs to be processed. And I just think I think it's really overwhelming to your nervous system. Okay, I want to get other advice. What other advice do you have for you? Again, and I do feel like Spirit's telling me you don't have to do a lot right now. Like that's something I'm getting. You don't have to figure everything out right now. I think that just letting you be where you're at and not forcing anything is going to be helpful. Like, don't force yourself to make this decision to go after this thing you want if you don't feel ready. You know what I mean? Like, force, I don't feel like is the answer here, because force can signal to our inner self and our other parts of us that we're making a decision that's not safe, right? Because we're forcing ourselves to do it. And anything we do through force is not safe. And so I think that there is a need to let go of control, let go of forcing yourself to do anything, and just being. I really do feel like the answer here is just being with yourself, being with what you're feeling. Sorry guys, I have alarms going off because my children usually get out at this time and they're not getting out this time right now. Okay, what other final advice do we have? And you're beating the devil. Like this is a huge cycle. Destiny. And this is about getting you, this is about your perception over your path, over where you're going around, and again, it's very scary because I think that you had a very strong idea of what you were going to be doing and where your path was supposed to go. And I think that this has been a huge awakening into like, I actually don't know if this is my path anymore. And that is hard because you have to grieve that. And you also have to, and then there's also this feeling of fear, because if you haven't been like used to an idea or used to a certain path, that can feel very scary. And I think that something's really calling to you strongly to move on a different path, to move towards a new path. And I think that you're having to break down a lot of old conditioning around not going, like what it could mean if you went after this. Your brain is making up meaning around what this means about you if you go after this. Like, what does that make you look like? What does that make you think about yourself if you did this? Like, there's almost like this protector part of you that's like, if you did that, what would that make you? Like, what would that say about you? Like, that kind of energy is what I'm getting. And so I think that talking to that protector part and being like, listen, I know you think that this is a bad idea for whatever reasons you're saying it, and ask why. Why do you feel like this could, why do you think this is bad? Why do you think that if we make this move, it's going to cause us, what do you think is going to happen? That could help. What do you think is going to happen if we make this move? And what are you afraid of happening? And is that actually something that's going to happen? And really getting into like, because I do feel like this protector part has felt something from the past. It's feeling something from the past about making this move. Like there might have been a move you made in the past that was your wish, or you felt was your wish fulfillment at the time, that only brought you like betrayal and heartbreak. And you didn't want to get fooled again within yourself. So you made like a ultimatum or something, like we're never going to go after this type of situation again. But I think that you're wounding again. This is why I'm seeing you like seeing that you're looking through your wounding of like, I'm seeing this through a wounded perspective. Like this situation's not actually what that last one is, and my wounding is telling me it is. And so I think that by helping this part feel safe, how can I help? How can we help this part feel safe, spirit guides? I'm seeing gratitude and growth. Have gratitude for how this is actually helping you grow, because this is helping you grow. Whatever this wish fulfillment that you have and whatever is calling to you, like this is opening your eyes. Some of you have a soulmate that's opening your eyes. Some of you have a soulmate that's opening your eyes. And have joy that you're growing. Like you're going through, this is you growing. This is you growing. And opening up to a higher perception of yourself, your path, and allowing yourself to grow, allowing yourself to change, allowing yourself to follow a different path than you thought you would be. Yeah. And so I think that it's just very hard to do and very overwhelming for your nervous system. Okay, I want to get one more piece of advice. I feel like I want these ones for some reason. Is there any final advice you have? Talking to your protector part can be very helpful. And again, this is not about telling them to stop protecting you. Sometimes protector parts need a new job. Like, what could it be? Like, I want you to, instead of clocking and telling me that this is bad, I want you to make sure you're looking out for situations that could be like this, but are not actually like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like looking for the risk. Like, oh gosh, how do I say this? Spirit guides, help me. It's like having the protector part analyze and be on the lookout for red flags even, instead of like making a whole judgment about what this is based on your wounding. And again, it is just seeing it that way. Like, this is about my wounding, but it's also about making that protector part feel seen. This is about witnessing that you have a protector part that's trying to keep you safe, and seeing why that is, and bearing witness to them. Because anytime we witness anyone else, it makes them feel safe. Like sometimes we just need to be witnessed, right? And not told anything, not forced to heal, not forced to feel something else. And I think that this is about witnessing it and just saying, I see you. A lot of this work right here is about just saying, I see you. And I understand why you're here. And but also realizing that that's not the whole of you. That's just a part of you. And again, this alchemy thing that you're doing, you're you're connecting a lot of contradictions, and the biggest advice I have for you is allowing all of it. The fear of moving forward, and the need to move forward, and the need to stay the same, and the need to stay attached to what you already have, and um the need that this wounding has, and also the need of your want to expand as a soul and as a person and as a human, and your need for growth, because you need growth. Like, and I don't mean need growth as in like for anyone else, like you need growth to feel like you're growing, because that's helpful too. And so it's like, what can you do to help yourself realize you're growing today? And that could just be, I'm going to go outside today for a little bit and look at the moon, or I'm going to go outside today and I'm going to watch the birds, fly. And or it could even be like, I'm not going to be on my phone for an hour today, or anything where you can get connected to your heart and your joy, not your head. Anything you can get connected to that's going to calm your nervous system and to regulate you, but also show you that there's so much more to this universe and to this life than we think sometimes. And I was doing this the other day. I was watching a bee and I was just watching the flowers and I was just like, oh my gosh, like how amazing is it that like a bee pollinates flowers, and how amazing is it that flowers are so beautiful. And I was just felt so grateful for the trees and the planet. And I'm not saying you have to do that, but I am saying that being outside and being in nature really helps you get connected to yourself and a higher awareness of like what's actually, like, not just everything in your head is true, you know what I mean? Like, it gets you out of your head is what I'm saying, and it helps you connect to something bigger than you. And I think any way you can connect to anything bigger than you is going to help you through this process. And again, not being hard on yourself and just allowing all of the contradictions you have within you to exist. Because if we try to force a part away, like, I don't like you, go away, that part's going to get louder. And so again, I think this is a process of you just allowing everything you're feeling, allowing the old and the new to coexist together, allowing the contradictions that are within you to exist, because allowing that actually helps create a relationship between them, and also lets your nervous system and self know that it's okay to hold contradictions. It's okay to have two conflicting thoughts. It's okay. And also then creating there, then by allowing all these contradictions within you, there is a higher form that you are moving towards, where you can hold everything and contain everything as one, and honor every single part, every single contradiction, without exiling or pushing away or avoiding them. Does that make sense? Okay. This is huge though, Pal one. This, you're in a nebula, you're in the middle. If you're feeling confused, it's okay. Yeah, this is about mending within you. Mending old wounds that you have within you, to be fair, and bringing about justice. So some of you may be involved in a situation where you feel like it's off balance, and this is also to bring balance to that situation. Anything else? And blessed, to realize how blessed you are, to see the magic that you have, to see that you are magic, to see the magic of the world, to see the magic of the universe, to see the magic in your path, to see the magic even in the painful moments, because you know that you're going somewhere better than you are right now. And a path that's going to feel so much better, and you to embody who you are deep down instead of who people want you to be. Because I think this is also really centered around what other people have thought of you, and their own thoughts and conditioning being put onto who you are and who you're supposed to be. And I think you're realizing a lot of this isn't even yours. And it's like honoring the need to follow the conditioning without following the conditioning is going to be the ultimate like form of like of you. It's not about getting rid of the conditioning. It's about seeing what it's doing, honoring the fact that it's there, and being able to finally make a different choice. Like, that's what this is about. And I know you want to make a different choice, or at least a part of you really wants to make a different choice. And it's allowing everything. And this is just so deep and complex because you're so deep and you're so complex. But again, this is about you getting onto a path that's really going to make you feel whole and aligned and embodied and powerful and excited and just joyful. and also realizing how much resilience and perseverance you've had to move through this, and gaining that strength of working through these challenges, because through this challenge, this is where you gain that strength. This is where you learn and you grow so much. And you're going through a huge challenge right now, or challenges, I should say. And it's a lot around your identity and where you want to go next. And that's huge. So it's like there's a grinding of like the pearl to the pearl, like you're becoming a pearl. It's just a really painful process. Okay, Pal One, I think that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for being here. I love you so much, and I will see you guys next time. Hi, Pal 2. Welcome to your reading. So today we're doing a pick a card on what profound shift is happening for you right now. You picked the alchemical wedding. We also have the thread, gnosis, vessel, the hunter, abundance, perfection, and growth. Pal 2, this is huge, okay? So I feel like you have been in a very challenging, long process of bringing in the dark and light aspects of you and somehow creating a connection. It's like I'm seeing, how I explain this. Spirit is wanting to celebrate you and how far you've come. The alchemical wedding is seeing all of your work and everything that you've done and how far you've come, and being witnessed for how much you have achieved. It's about, like, there is your spirit guides and my spirit guides are so proud of you for the work that you have done to get to where you are right now. And I feel like the work in some way was breaking down conditioning in some way, or even breaking down your relationship to that conditioning. The hunter card. So we have the vessel and hunter. I feel like you were on a hunt for a vessel of some type. So like a container, someone to hold you or something to hold you. Some of this could have done with perfection, because I'm seeing, like, see how there's like, she's like that. And then we have like this with the hunter. I feel like you may have been hunting for perfection in some way in the past, or hunting for a container to hold you. Like maybe you were always giving your power away externally, or maybe you were always giving your power away to perfectionism and like, I have to do it this way, or I have to make this decision, or I have to follow this path, or I have to do it this way. And I feel like that's been breaking down. I feel like you figured it out. Like I feel like you figured out that the vessel that you've been searching for is within you. And I feel like what this process has been about is like you following this tiny thread of deep truth, of deep understanding. There's something you've been following, and I feel like it's almost like your soul's path. Like you've been following this really thin thread among all this darkness and conditioning. This thin thread to get you to get you to the right path, or to get you to the path that feels most aligned for your soul. But I feel like you've had to break through a lot of darkness to get there. And I'm seeing it as like your intuition. You've been following your intuition and just trying to heal and alchemize the past, and even relationships that you're in right now, or have been engaging in. There's like a deep understanding of, I'm no longer looking for safety or love, like external safety and external love. Like you're no longer searching for that to fill you from an empty place. Like you are filling yourself. You are realizing your strength. And again, the process was so difficult. It's hard for me to put into words exactly what this process was for you. But you've been through a major shift just recently. And I feel like there's some type of truth you've come to about something or somebody or yourself. And this truth is grounding you in some way to take the next step, to like jump in some way towards the path that you want. It's like, I don't know. It's hard for me to explain. I really want to get into the tarot because I feel like it's so big that it's hard for me to conceptualize a little bit. Okay, let's see what's going on for you. Yeah, it's like, I think that the sadness and the grief has been covering up this thread. And that's why I think that you've had to really get connected to yourself in a really deep way and work through a lot of this grief to even see this thread, right? Because this grief probably was covering this thread up so you couldn't see it. And so I'm seeing you really grieving, feeling grief. It's like you're getting to parts of your grief that you never have gotten to before, and it's because you've been allowing all of it to exist is what I'm getting. And you've been, again, following this thread. It's been very confusing. I can't, like, this is so interesting. You had to work through so many things. Oh my gosh, I can't even get over it, pal, too. It's like you might have had fantasy, you might have had a lot of confusion happening, and it was from this grief that was unfelt or regret even. And it's like, again, you've been having to work through like the most difficult challenging situations. And it could have had to do something with something like of you giving your love. What's this Knight of Cups? Let me see. 8 of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. I'm seeing you work really hard at giving to yourself because you know that there's an opportunity. You've been working towards an opportunity. There's an opportunity here where you know that it's almost like I'm seeing you working through a lot of grief. Some of you had to walk away from something that wasn't serving you, or in the process of walking away from something that's not serving you, or just working through this confusion and this grief on its own. You've been working really, really hard and trying to give back to yourself, and also working at protecting yourself and this new path that you feel is leading to the 10 of Pentacles. Like, it is leading to the 10 of Pentacles. And you really want to protect your dream and your vision from, I'm seeing, yep. Because you know that whatever this container is, like this new container that you're putting your energy into, really aligns with who you are. And you know that it can hold you. And I don't mean it can hold you in the way of like, you're giving all your power away to it. It's different than that. It's like you have your power now. I feel like you've worked through, Spirit is like celebrating you so much for working through whatever you've been working through. The shift is you being celebrated. The shift is that you finally are able to start giving more energy into something that you know is a container that could hold you for a very long time. And that's a 10 of Pentacles. It's long-term stability. And you know that you could also be publicly recognized or get recognition from whatever this is. It doesn't have to be public recognition, but recognition in some way. Let me see the moon. I think you've been working through your subconscious a lot. Yep. Ace of Cups with the moon. Yep. It's like pouring water into all of your feelings, even feelings, but pouring water into the parts of you that never got water before. That's what I'm feeling. And it's helping you become way more confident. King of Wands. And it's helping you stand your ground. It's like I'm seeing you used to have a different way of approaching yourself. So you might have been more forceful, more rigid, more confused, more grief-stricken even. And I'm seeing you give love and self-love to your subconscious. So these are all the parts of you that are hidden, all the dark parts of you, your shadow. It's like I'm seeing you give love to your shadow, which is bringing about this strong magnetism and standing your ground. And it's like I can't even put to words how deep this is because I still feel like you're processing. So I'm not getting like a picture of what's happening, like what this transformation is going to bring you. But I know that it's big, and I know that it's deep, and I know that you've been doing a lot of work to get here. It's just I'm seeing that you feel quite, it's like almost like I'm seeing you allow grief that you've never allowed before. I'm seeing you allow just all of the confusion. I'm just seeing you allow all of it. You're like, I'm allowing everything. I'm just, whatever I'm feeling, it's allowed. And also bringing in compassion and understanding and non-judgment to what you're finding when you are grieving and when you are feeling things, and approach, you've learned how to approach yourself in a very different way. And that approach to yourself that's different is like a higher form of approachment, but it's like a higher form of being that you're tapping into, which is like this Gnosis card underneath here. It's like It's like you understand something to a deep level about how to work with yourself in a new way, how to give to yourself in a new way, what you no longer want to give to. And this definitely could also be around relationships. What's the Three of Cups? Yeah, it's like you want to manifest because you're healing yourself at such a deep level, your subconscious. You are now being able to reconnect and celebrate and also see how you're not going to be manifesting from a place that you once were. It's like you're recognizing your manifestation is 100% tied into everything you're thinking, everything that's subconscious. So that's why sometimes manifestations like don't like come up weird or like they, you know what I mean? Because our subconscious may be pulling us to manifestations to work out something like a shadow wound. I'm seeing that you might have been in a process where you've been working out a shadow wound or multiple shadow wounds, and you're reconnecting now in a much more purified way, but it's purified through doing the work. It's purified through feeling. It's purified through allowing the feeling. It's purified through allowing the confusion and bringing in compassion and unconditional love to all of the parts of you that are hurting. Because I feel like I don't know if you were avoiding all the parts that you that were hurting or you were too afraid to go near them, but I'm seeing you completely change that. And that's what I'm saying. Like this new way of being is not around what you're doing, how hard you're working, what you can prove, what other people think. Like this is about everything internal and creating an internal safety so that you can go about the world and anything can happen and you're going to be okay. Because it's like I'm seeing you understand and have an awareness of the work that you've been doing is creating an internal strength within you to where you may be finding that you're no longer afraid of the same situations you once were. And maybe a part of you is, but more than that, there's a cohesiveness happening within you. I'm seeing you not be so rigid. I'm seeing you not feel so trapped within yourself. It's like I'm seeing you gain like your soul, like not gain your soul, but like gain access, because we always have our soul, but sometimes we block access to our soul because through trauma, conditioning, whatever it is. And I'm seeing that you've broken down your conditioning and your wounding and your pain in a way that now your soul is shining through and your soul is unconditionally loving. And so again, I'm seeing like this big thing that's happening with you where you are connecting to like the deepest parts of you that are totally unconditionally loving, that are strong in any storm. Like that's what I'm saying. It's like really hard. I really want to conceptualize it, but I feel like I can't for some reason. And maybe you are having a hard time conceptualizing what all this means, right? But it's big. It's so big. The Tower. What's a Tower? Temperance. Tower, temperance, and what? Judgment. It's interesting because pile 1 had, I'm hearing my cat, pile 1 had temperance and judgment here as well. So I'm seeing you break down and see, like have an awareness of 5 of Swords. So this is all the ways that you've been putting yourself down, holding yourself back, being mean to yourself, criticizing yourself, or accepting behavior from others where they're doing that to you. I'm seeing you really look at it like this is not true. Like the way that I've been defending myself, or the way that I've been putting energy into things, or even like the people I've been engaging with are not they're based in ego. And I'm seeing you see this ego, and I'm seeing you break down your ego, but in a very higher form angelic way, because we have judgment, which there's angel in the card, and the temperance card. So this is like, again, this is like that awareness of your soul, your higher self, like seeing this for what it is. And actually you like, that's now becoming your whole world view of yourself, like not seeing yourself through your ego's eyes, seeing yourself through your soul's eyes, through your higher self's eyes, through the truth, right? This Gnosis card's about the ultimate truth from experiencing it, and it's mystical truth. It's a higher truth. It's not the ego's truth. And again, this could be causing you to feel destabilized in some way because it's breaking down conditioning. You're breaking down people that are you may be leaving people behind that are always in their ego, because you're not in your ego anymore. Like you have your ego there, of course. Your ego's still up and running, it always is, but you're responding and reacting to your ego in a different way. And responding and reacting to your ego in a different way maybe causing some things in your life to start crumbling down because they no longer can contain and hold who you're becoming, because you're not only based in your ego or even your wounding anymore. You're based in a higher form of awareness now. It's so big. I can't. The shift is huge. Some people might be having an issue with this too. What's a tower? I want to see what the tower is really quick. I think I already did, but yeah, it's like you're ending cycles, and for some people this may seem very abrupt is what I'm getting. It's like I'm getting like a really strong feeling from you, like I can't be around the people that help shape this consciousness, because I have a different consciousness now, a higher form of consciousness is coming through, and I don't want that to get hurt, which is I think you protecting, right? You are protecting this opportunity you have, right? There's an opportunity to give to your Six of Cups, which is like something that really, really is like so sweet. And also your Ten of Pentacles. It's like, I'm seeing you like, I don't want to jeopardize this new place I'm moving into and this new consciousness that I'm gaining, because I'm around people that keep reminding me of my old consciousness. Can I see the world? I also am seeing you realize, like with your intuition, that if you keep staying in this cycle, in this old cycle that you're moving past, that it's going to bring about, I'm hearing destruction, but it's going to bring about more suffering for you that you've already worked through. Like you've already worked through the cycle. You've graduated. Like Spirit's telling me like you're graduating the cycle right now, or just graduated. Like that's one of the shifts that's happening. Oh, wow. I didn't even look at that card. The Lover's in reverse. That's so painful. A lot of this cycle for you possibly has been around the people that you've really had intimate connections with, and having to let go of connections because even if you know it's right, it's like so painful to do. You're letting go of connections that were entertained by old wounding, that were entertained by an old paradigm, that were based in the ego. And I think this has been a huge process of realizing where your wounding took you and who your wounding took you around, or who your wounding was letting you stay around even. And this is breaking that pattern. Like you're breaking a huge pattern around other people and no longer accepting ego-based behaviors. Like this is like you making a judgment call on people that are, again, winning at all costs, only care about money, only care about status, only care about what they can get. You're not in that place. You have grown past that place. And so I think protecting this new cycle, because you no longer also want to accept this behavior, right, from other people. So I think you're like really it's like shocking almost. I don't know. It's like there's a shocking feeling to like, you've been working at this for a while, but I do feel like there was some sudden insight or some breakthrough that you're experiencing right now or about to experience that's going to help you fully be able to close this cycle out. That's what I'm feeling, at least. Yeah, it's heartbreaking to leave it behind though. And I do want to honor that. It's like, again, that's why we have the Temperance card. It's like, I had this written down yesterday. I was really going into the Temperance card. I spoke about it in Pile 1. The Temperance card, so she has these two cups she's pouring back and forth in, and it's the Angel. But it's about combining all of it, right? It's not about, how do I explain this? It's not about exiling sadness or exiling love. It's about honoring both. And there's an honoring of the fact that how do I explain this? Help me, Spirit. That you still may love whoever this is, this Lover's person or situation, that you still may love them, but it's hurting you to stay. And it's hurting you because you've gained awareness. You're in a higher consciousness now. And it's holding the fact that it's holding the love and the grief at the same time, and not exiling the grief or exiling the love. And I think that it's a really painful thing and a hard thing to hold all at once. It's, again, it's giving, like, I was talking about this in Pile 1, but there's two or multiple contradictions that are happening around multiple things within you. And it's like you're coming from an old self to a new self, and the old self is still a little bit attached to the old way of doing things, of course. And then you have this new self that's emerging, and there's a contradiction between your old self and your new self, right? And there's a contradiction between your grief and your love, and there's a contradiction between what else? The way you've had to survive before, and now how you want to survive now, or not survive but thrive now. Like authenticity versus what you had to do to survive. And it's like you're holding, again, all these opposites within you, but specifically around other people, and how you might have gotten in relationships that brought about a lot of pain, but also how you've grown through that too. It's like, again, it's like really, it's really hard to conceptualize what I'm feeling here. Yeah, and this is about nurturing why you felt wounded. Nurturing why you've been left out in the cold, or how you got left out in the cold, or nurturing your heartbreak over the situation that you might have been in that's closing now, and nurturing the fact that you felt left out in the cold in some way, and like nurturing yourself so that you don't feel internally like that anymore. And that's going through this grieving process of realizing like what actually happened in this cycle that you were in, how you did end up heartbroken, how you did feel left out in the cold, and now how you are rectifying that within you and not through another. It's, again, it's very personal and autonomous what you're doing. Yes, and it's because you're coming to a major truth. That's what I was saying, Ace of Swords, with about where you want to move next, about what you want to actually give energy to now. Because I feel like if you still tried to give energy to this, or if you're still trying to give energy to this older cycle that you're finally moving out of, or did move out of, right? I don't know where you are on the timeline. But if you keep going back to this, it's like opening and picking at an old wound. Like you've done enough healing to move out of this now, but it's also a lot for your nervous system too. Because again, this is a new you. Like you're coming into, you're no longer seeing yourself the way you did before. You're no longer responding to yourself the way you did before. And so this is like a huge new way that you're going about things that feels unfamiliar. And also you might not totally know where you're going next either. And there's like an unknown in where you're going next too. Not saying totally unknown, but it feels new to you. I just said it feels new to you. We got the Fool. The Fool. It's not meant to be in reverse. I already know that. Wheel of Fortune and Two of Cups. Yeah, this is like, okay, so like the Lovers in reverse with this old cycle, you're now moving into a new cycle where you're actually going to have the relationships you want, and the Wheel of Fortune is on your side. I'm seeing you've done so much work to get out of this last cycle and had to work through so much wounding, so much ego wounding, so much pain, so much past pain, so much, pain in the present. You've had to work through a lot of grief and a lot of confusion over this last cycle. And now I'm seeing you finally, like the shift that's happening is you moving into new beginning, into unions that actually feel aligned, unions that actually honor who you're becoming, not who you were. This is huge, pile two. This is so big. Okay, Two of Cups. Yeah, something that's gonna really like honor your fire energy, honor what you have to bring to the table. It's so big. Pile two, I still feel like I didn't really get to like how big this is, but it is. And I wish I could I want to put it in better words, but I feel like for some reason I don't feel like I'm meant to. I feel like this is something for you to kind of ponder on what all this means, and also to like honor and celebrate. Like the alchemical wedding card is literally your guide celebrating you. It says it's like you've completed something so big, and this is, and like let yourself revel in the celebration. Once you're like, I feel like you still have to grieve and process and stuff. Like once you're done grieving and processing, try to revel in it now, but definitely revel in it when you're feeling like you're finally, stepping into the new beginning you're being called to. And it's here already. So I feel like some of you are already stepping into this new beginning. This quest, yes. Oh. this quest got you connected to forgiving yourself even for the ways that you had to survive. This discovery helped you become more grateful for who you are and even get connected to your inner child in a much deeper way. And again, like there's so much blue here. This is about your expression of who you are, expression of yourself, and how some people can't hold your expression. They don't know how to honor your expression. And again, like forgiving yourself for picking people that don't honor your expression, right? And forgiving yourself for the conditioning that you've had, because the conditioning was there and it was smart and it helped you survive. And you're now breaking it down because you don't need it anymore. You don't need to be stuck in this place of, you know, people that don't honor who you are. You don't need to be stuck in this place of feeling bad about yourself anymore. You don't need to feel bad about yourself anymore. You're forgiving yourself. You're finding gratefulness for yourself. You're finding gratefulness for this process, even though it's been like so hard. Like it's so beautiful, Palo 2. I can't even tell you. Is there anything else you want me to tell Palo 2? You're moving into such a beautiful new beginning with possibly a different person, a new person, someone that can really honor who you are. And I'm seeing the wheel like turn and like I'm hearing spit someone out. It's so weird that it came like that, but I'm seeing it turn and there's somebody that like new coming in or something. I don't know. Yeah, so what's the confusion? You still may be experiencing confusion right now. What do you want me to say about the confusion? Destiny. Because yeah, I was saying like you might not know exactly where you're going, and it's okay. It's like I'm almost, what am I saying? What do you really want me to say? I feel like Spirit's like putting a blindfold on you because it's like, this is so big. I keep feeling like this undertone of like how big this is, and I'm not able to like tell you why, which I feel like Spirit is purposely doing this. Why? Why are you purposely doing this? You might also be confused about where you're going, and again, that's okay. I think, wow, that's a lot. Okay, I'm going to put them all. We got wisdom. I'm like, why do you want me to tell you? Tell. Wisdom, release, balance, victim, okay? Recovery, discovery, and creation. So Spirit's saying you have no idea how much wisdom you are gaining from releasing this old cycle and releasing all of this past pain and conditioning, how much balance you're going to have, and how you're not going to be a victim again, and how you're not going to have to recover from this type of situation ever again, and how you're discovering who you really are and how much you can create and how wonderful you are, but also how much you have value and how much you can create and how magical you are. It's so beautiful, Palo 2. This is huge. I'm so proud of you. Just keep going. Celebrate how hard this has been. Not hard it's been, but celebrate how tenacious you've had to be and resilient you've had to be to work through this, and celebrate how far you've come. You are not the same person even you were a year ago. Like, this is huge. So celebrate where you are. Celebrate where you are, Palo 2. I love you so much. Okay, Palo 2, thank you so much. I think that's all I have for you, and I will see you guys next time. Hi, Pal 3. Welcome to your reading. So we are doing a reading or pick a card on what profound shift is happening for you right now. You picked the Despicable Face. We also have Aletheia, the Offering, the Mentor, the Crone, Release, Completion, and Complacency. Pal 3. You have done something so amazing. I can't even tell you. The Despicable Face is all the things that we don't want to see. All the shamed or hidden, buried parts of us. The face that we never want to show anyone else. And I see you literally, what you did was look it straight in the face and realize that it wasn't despicable. And it's like, it makes me emotional because it's so beautiful. It's like you got to some deep part of you through work. I'm hearing toiling, through work of a lot of acceptance, a lot of unconditional love, a lot of curiosity, and a willingness to face whatever it was that was hidden and buried deep within you that you didn't want to show everyone else, that you didn't even want to see yourself. And you're realizing, like, I was seeing, like, see the colors of this Despicable Face card? See, the Offering is kind of similar in its coloring. Then we have the Wisdom with the Crone and the Mentor and the Deep Truth. It's like you're realizing this thing that was shamed within you from others and then from yourself is actually not bad. It's actually not despicable. It's actually one of the things that makes you the most beautiful. One of the things that you could offer in some way, because when you look at something that's shamed and hidden and bring awareness and truth and light and love to it, it transforms into not being despicable anymore. It transforms into being human. It transforms into something that is beautiful instead of ugly. And I see you being able to offer something because of it, but to yourself, which is the most important part. And you could have felt, I'm getting so thirsty right now. You could have felt thirsty for someone to see this part of you and validate it and recognize it and love it, but nobody was. And you finally, instead of relying on anyone else to do so, you looked at yourself into this shamed, hidden, deep part of you and saw it for the first time and really looked at it. And you looked at it with acceptance, love, and compassion. And because you did that, that is like birthing a huge new truth in you. And this, if this hasn't happened yet, this is what I'm seeing you doing. I'm seeing you face something that is like what we all run from our whole lives. Like the parts of us that are scary, the parts of us that are hidden, even from our own selves. Like you might have had to dig for this. But I'm seeing it not be as like one instance. I'm seeing like you've been in a long process of trying to figure out what within you felt unsafe, what within you felt shamed, what within you felt hidden from you, what within you was causing even certain behaviors or certain complacencies. And now I'm seeing you finally be able to release even an idea of you that is not true. An idea of you that was given to you by others saying that you weren't good enough, or others saying that this part of you is shameful, but it's not. It's actually a really beautiful, important part of you that deserved to be witnessed, that deserved to bring healing to, that deserved for you to bring healing to it. And because you've been doing this type of work, you're becoming a mentor and you're becoming the crone. And it's like wisdom, again, born from pain, wisdom born from looking at the deepest parts of you that nobody else would look at or even acknowledge. And you're acknowledging something within you that needed to be acknowledged to be able to move forward in some way. And it's some type of truth about you. And I think you're seeing the black and the white of the truth, like the dark and the light of this truth. And again, I think there's a lot of fear, not fear, I didn't mean to say fear, but maybe fear and pain around this face, this despicable face, or this part of you that didn't want to be seen. And it's because people have shamed it or made you feel bad for it. And I think that that's what this release is. It's like you're releasing the shame, you're releasing the words that they said, you're releasing the conditioning that you've maybe had your entire life, and seeing a much more truthful view of yourself. I saw the glass card, so it's like you're seeing yourself clearly for the first time, and it's not so bad. It's pretty great, and that's why this is so beautiful. Okay, let me get into the tarot. This is huge. I can't. Okay, Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles, death. Wow. Confusion, Seven of Cups. Oh, I didn't even see strength. There's strength and Five of Cups. Wow. Wow. This is huge. Okay. So death is Scorpio energy, which is it's like the most transformational process around your feelings, around your fantasies, around your strength, around your sadness and your grief. So there's been a huge undertaking, I'm hearing, by you to really look and allow everything that's been happening to you, and allow in a way, like allow all the feelings, allow all the confusion, allow your strength inside of it, allow the transformation process. It's like you might have wanted to mess and resist this transformation for a long time, and I'm seeing you finally make the decision to just face it. And again, I'm seeing you come to an awareness once you've been working through and processing this confusion and the sadness of how strong you are, about how your sadness isn't bad, how your confusion hasn't been bad, but maybe it's been protective. Confusion can be protective. And I see even your sadness can be protective too. Okay, let me see what else is going on. This is so big. This also could have revolved around your stability, your self-worth, what you can create, what you can build in your life. And it's a masculine form. So it's like you might have felt like every single time you built something, it would come crashing down, or every single time you try to create a stable foundation, it was crumbling. And I don't, let me see before I say that. What is this King of Pentacles? Lovers in reverse. You want it in reverse? Yes. Yes. So this is around connections. Wow. Seven of Swords. So I was getting that imagery. That's what I was saying. I was going to say that. I was going to say, like, you have been trying to build in these places, right? And create structure and stability in these places. Maybe a connection, right? Can be connection because we have the Lovers here. But trying to build and build and build. But every single time it was crumbling down, but because there was some type of deception attached to it. This could have been their deception. This could have been your own feeling of not feeling good enough and how that made things crumble. But I am getting, it's a lot for a lot of you. It is external too, like external deception. I hate that it's blurry. What's the Seven of Swords? So we have Gemini here and we have Scorpio. Yeah, it's like every single time you gave your love and what happened? Yeah, it's like you stopped doing that. I'm seeing it. The King of Swords is able to break down information and then take that information and move with it. And because the Queen of Swords basically consolidates all the information and then gives it to the king to actually be able to then, once it's worked out, be able to then make a decision with that information. I'm seeing you give energy and love to the part of you that can do something with this information. So it's like I'm seeing, and again, we have the Hermit here, so we have Virgo energy here. So this was about like you deeply reflecting. I hate that it's blurry. It keeps doing that. But only in certain piles when I'm talking about like confusion or deception. It's like really interesting. You had to go deeply internal with the Hermit. I hate that it won't stop blurring. Come on, stop blurring. You had to go deeply internal with the Hermit and look at where you were deceiving yourself even around relationships that you were involved in. Like maybe you were seeing it as something it wasn't. Maybe you thought the relationship was like with this fantasy card, right? Like this can be a fantasy where we think something is something because of our fantasy of what it could be, or a fantasy of what was from the past. It's like projecting onto our present, right? And I'm seeing you break down the ways you were deceiving yourself around certain relationships, and also breaking down their own deception around maybe what they were giving you, or how they were showing up, or what they were involved in too. And yeah, it's huge. Okay, I hate that it's blurry, but it is what it is. Sorry guys, I don't know why it keeps doing that, but it just is. Over here, down here, you can do it. No? Hermit. The Chariot. Yeah, this is so you can move forward. Some of you are having to leave a lot of relationships, or just one specific really a big relationship in your life. It doesn't have to be deep, but it could be. A lot of you are moving forward. Oh, finally, interesting. Once I said moving forward, you'll find more clarity moving forward. The Empress. Yeah, this is you nurturing like your transformation, nurturing your feelings, nurturing and being a mother to yourself during a really painful time of realizing that certain connections are not based in the truth. They're based in wounding, or they're based in something else, not the Lovers. Like the Lovers and the Devil are like the two cards that kind of the I would say, like, because it looks the same, right? We have the Angel behind the Lovers, and we have they have the Devil behind the Lovers, right? Like, but in a connection, like usually on the card. And since we have the Lovers in reverse, it's really reminding me of the Devil. And it's like you thought, maybe again with this deception, like thought that this relationship or relationships were based in truth. But I think you're realizing through deep reflection and a lot of work that the connections that you've been giving to are not based in truth, and they're based in wounding. And I think that this process has been about releasing the fantasy, seeing reality as it is, taking all of the information and consolidating it and being able to finally move forward. I'm seeing a breakthrough. You're having a breakthrough when it comes to like your understanding, again, like the despicable face. Like, you're bringing love to the fact of like why you got in this situation, why you got into this lover situation where it turned out to be either based in deception or didn't have a foundation that could last. Like, you're seeing why you did that and bringing love and awareness to why you did that is helping you move forward. It's helping you find, it's like I'm seeing you get all the information finally and see it all clearly for the first time. And again, it's because you're facing yourself and allowing the parts of you that are hidden to come to light and loving them for as they are. It's really beautiful. 5 of Swords. Yeah. These relationships could have also just really been based in ego. Like, either the person you were dealing with really like status, money, power, or always wanted to win at all costs, or there was always a competition between you and them, right? It doesn't have to be like a romantic partner, but it can, any type of connection. You are healing sadness over how you've been in connections that have been so challenging, but also painful. Like, and I think that going through this challenging situation with these people has really brought you to a level of healing that I don't think you were even realizing. It's like I'm seeing you gain so much awareness through whatever this was because you did a lot of work to try to like face it, because it's like you kept ending up either with the same partner, or you kept ending up in relationships that were always hurting you, or you kept up ending relationships where you were always giving too much, or you kept having, you know what I mean? Like that kind of feeling. And by going deeply internal and looking at the deception around all of it, your own and theirs, and seeing why that's there is helping you. And I'm seeing you be able to move forward finally after a really long period. This could have really hurt your inner child too, being in these relationships and your emotions. But I'm also seeing it as there's a connection being made between the younger parts of you or parts of you that were hidden and shamed and your adult self. Like I'm seeing a connection be made and a healing happening between your inner child in you or your hidden shamed parts in you. But like your older adult self and who you're becoming, and also how you're responding to the parts of you that are feeling unsafe or feeling afraid. I'm seeing that go through a transformation too. This is so big, pile 3. I hope it's making sense. Yeah, because you've been consistently emotionally disappointed, consistently feeling like abandoned or left out in the cold, or just disappointed in the relationships in general. And I know you want, it's like I'm seeing you want to manifest from a higher form. Like you want to manifest with your adult self. You don't want to manifest with your inner child. So I'm seeing you heal your inner child or heal this shamed, despicable face. I'm seeing you heal that. And it's like such a core healing that's happening that it's completely changing the way you look at things, what you accept, what you no longer want in your life. Like there's a whole reset and a revamp going on of your entire inner world. And that's externally now with the King of Swords being able to be implemented. I'm seeing you really have been trying to search for information or search for answers, right? And you might have been searching for answers outside of you for a very long time. You're no longer doing that. You're searching only for the answers from within you. And because you're only searching for answers from within you, and you're doing it from a more healed perspective, and it took a lot for you to get to this more healed perspective, that's helping you move forward, but it's also helping you become so wise. The crone and the mentor, someone that can actually help others with the same thing that you've been going through. And I'm seeing Spirit like saying to me, like, you're ready. Like, you may not feel like you're ready, but you're ready for a huge manifestation to start or to get publicly recognized for this. Some of you are teaching this or channeling this, whatever you've been through this long process, and it definitely was around connection, I feel like, or your relationship with others. It's completely changed. And now you're able to like implement like and help others with the same sort of thing, or help others in some way with your transformation. Is it supposed to be in reverse? Yeah, and it's like I'm also seeing you get like connected to You're not going to rush yourself through healing. You're not going to rush yourself to get stuff done anymore. I'm seeing like before, you might have, your ego might have been telling you you're not allowed to take a break. You're not allowed to rest. You're not allowed to heal, or you're not allowed to go slow in healing even, or go slow in what you're doing. And I'm seeing that that's completely changing too. It's like I'm seeing you realize, right? Like realize that rushing yourself is actually hurting you and actually causing you to be slower than if you just did it the way that you felt in flow with yourself. Because and I'm not saying you have to go slow, because I don't get that. It's more like realizing your own pace to things and not overriding your, how do I say this? Not overriding yourself to get an end product quickly done, or done in a certain way. Like, you're not overriding yourself anymore. And again, that's like a huge thing. Like, it's not just around rest. It's about connections. It's about rest. It's about your path. It's about your internal world. It's about your thinking. It's about your feeling. It's about allowing all of it. It's like all of it. You're just like, okay, all of it, and letting it all exist. And that's what temperance is. It's not about forcing one outcome or another. It's about creating a relationship between two opposites within you, creating an alchemizing it, right? And alchemizing comes from witnessing. It comes from compassion. It comes from curiosity. It comes from non-judgment. It comes from following your intuition. It comes from facing your fears. It comes from even exposure therapy a little bit, but it's not about exposure. It's way more internal than that. Like Pile 3, this shift is like so massive, and this is helping you achieve and hold a container for yourself to be able to hold long-term happiness and relationships that are healthy. 10 of Wands. I think you also are realizing you're overwhelmed about what's coming on the horizon. What's this overwhelm on the horizon? Queen of Wands. I feel like you're being asked here to like step into and embody all of this, and you don't feel ready yet. You feel overwhelmed by having to embody this newfound confidence, this new understanding of yourself, because I feel like you had to go super internal and kind of be quite isolated. It doesn't have to be isolation. You might have not been isolated, but whatever you're going through, I feel like you kept it really internal. And so now you're being asked to kind of externalize it in some way, and that's overwhelming to you. Like to like embody it. Temperance. I was saying temperance. I thought temperance was already out here, but here it comes. It's overwhelming and hard to hold contradictions all in yourself when they're all opposites. And I think that you've been healing all of these opposites within you and creating a relationship. There's like a teamwork feeling internally that you're doing. Like you're honoring all parts of you and parts of you that may have completely different ideas about what you should be doing. And somehow you're getting everyone to work together, and that's alchemizing it, right? It's like listening to all of it. It's being okay with all of it. This is huge. And this is about rebalancing. Yeah, I said teamwork, rebalancing your internal world in a way that actually helps propel you forward and helps get you where you want to be, instead of going down paths that aren't serving you with this Lovers in reverse. You're not going to do that anymore. I'm Spirit saying you have a completion here. You've completed a lesson, but not a lesson, but like completed a healing phase is what I'm hearing. I have the Hanged Man. We have, I believe I'm hearing Pisces. 6 of Wands and the Emperor. Yeah, this is about you restructuring. Well, we have the Empress and the Emperor. Some of you may have had a relationship on hold that is going to become a win because you've been doing this healing. Some of you are completing a healing phase and able to finally find a partner that is your Emperor to your Empress, or Empress to your Emperor. But also I am seeing this as more internal of you've been consciously creating, nurturing, and going through a big transformation around exiled and shamed parts of you and who you show to the world. And now I'm seeing you give yourself permission to move forward. I'm seeing then now you're going to be able to create again with the Magician card. I'm seeing the Magician again, create from a place that is so much more cohesive. But I'm seeing it as like masculine energy, like able to create with your masculine energy in a very different way than before. What's this Emperor? 6 of Wands again. What? Wow. Spirit saying celebrate yourself. This is huge. Oh my gosh. You have 2 Six of Wands with the Emperor and the Empress. Some of you are calling in a counterpart, like an Emperor or an Empress, seriously, through all your healing that you're doing with this. That's what I'm seeing. Yeah, because you're standing your ground and you're working hard and you're no longer accepting connections that are not serving you. Or you're walking away from connections that were, again, really hard to do, to walk away from these things. But it's a karmic rebalancing that you feel is justified, that is justified. If it's for your higher good, it's for their higher good also. Some of you are getting communication from an Emperor. I'm seeing it. Or an Empress. Wow, this is so interesting. There's an opportunity coming in for you. With the Sun, I got so many cards. Hold on. With the Sun, what else do we have here? To move forward with your Knight of Wands energy into a new beginning with the Fool, and move forward even more, to keep moving forward into connection, reconnection. Some of you are reconnecting with a Emperor or a person that you've been, someone that you would say is a counterpart. There's a reconnection with a counterpart. And because you've moved forward into, like, this is loving yourself in a way that is so unconditional that it's calling in unconditional love. That's what I'm feeling. And you're moving into a new beginning. So some of you getting communication from an Emperor. This is huge. Yeah, because you've been moving to calmer waters. I'm telling you. Okay. Let's get some advice or final advice for, this is so big, pile 3. This has taken a lot of perseverance to get here. Okay, pile 3. Yin. Yes, this is that feminine aspect of you. Getting your feminine, like, I'm seeing poised, but see that Empress is here? So it's like, you really had to figure out how to nurture yourself, and you got to win in that. Like, you nurturing yourself, you really going into the feminine energy of just allowing, feeling, nurturing, loving, letting it all just be. And there's something really beautiful about the way that you did that. Like, Spirit's honoring, wanting to bring attention to the way you nurture yourself is so beautiful. The way you nurture yourself is such a higher form of nurturing. And you had to work through all the ways you weren't nurturing yourself to get to that point. So again, there's like it's like you did the work. You've been doing the work. And it was a lot about your thinking and how you think about things. Work on your mind and what you believe and how you're conditioned and all the stuff. And we have peace. Poison, peace. Co-create and serendipity. Yeah, you're finally going to be able to co-create with someone and bring more peace and serendipity. It's like, this is not about having relationships anymore that are challenging. Like, you've worked through that. You've completed, like, I'm seeing that like as a lesson plan. Like, you've completed that lesson, and it was probably one of the hardest lessons you've ever had to complete. And it was ultimately to bring in more peace and more love towards yourself. And that's bringing in a counterpart. And also, you're going to be able to co-create in a way that you never have been able to do before, because you're not the same person you were. You are embodying someone completely different. You're embodying the Empress and the Emperor. I'm seeing them both be within you and both be healed. Like, this is, again, getting to really deep parts of conditioning and removing and releasing that through grieving, through witnessing, through pain. There's healing happening with your pain. And because you're healing your pain at such a deep level, you're now finding peace and strength and co-creation, and going to be able to help others with this. Like, I am seeing for a lot of you are going to get publicly recognized. We had 2 Six of Wands. So whoever your counterpart is, they also might be in the public eye in some way. Like, I'm getting it because we have 2 Six of Wands. Both of you are, I'm also seeing it as like both of you have healed a lot on your own and now are able to come together and co-create with peace. Like, co-create to create peace and to have an actual partner that you can rely on. Someone that's not going to like bring up 7 of Swords. You know what I mean? But again, I do feel like you learned discernment and wisdom and softness and love through this deceptive situation within yourself and with others. Like, this is about clearing your perception of yourself and clearing your perception of others so you could see the truth. Again, I'm seeing glass to see the truth. And you're seeing the truth of who you are finally, now that you've been bringing about so much self-love and self-connection, like to, and again, to all the parts that were hidden and exiled and shamed. And it's huge, pile 3. I am so proud of you, pile 3. Okay, pile 3, thank you so much. I think that's all I have for you, and I will see you guys next time.